Hi guys, Melissa here at TCT Crafts. Thank you guys so much for tuning into our channel. Today we are going to be making this adorable pink and mint green gingerbread design. So if this is your first time watching, don't forget to subscribe, hit the little notification bell, and leave me a comment below. I'd love to see who we have watching for the first time. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, today we are going to be using this 24-inch artificial pink pine wreath base, and we're going to be using two different colors of mesh. So I have this pink and a mint green color. They were both just partial rolls. They were left over from another project, and I've already started putting some of the mesh in just so that you guys don't have to watch me do the whole thing. But on this particular wreath, because I do want a lot of that pink pine to show, I mean, that's why we're using it, right? Because it goes with our color scheme. I'm placing mesh in here, but they're not super close together. And if this is your first time watching, this is how I roll my curls. So I just put it up to my chest. I just give one side a couple rolls and then just squish it together. Makes like a little butterfly. And I'm just going in between the two. So this wreath base has two rings on it. It has an outside wire and it has an inside wire. So because I want a lot of this pink to show, I'm just putting it in between these two. A lot of times when I design, if I don't want the pine to show, like when I'm using these for more of our spring and summer designs, I will add mesh around the outside ring and I'll add mesh around the inside ring. But I want a lot of this pink to show, so I'm just kind of going in between the two and adding it. And they're not super close together. There's lots of pine still showing in between, and that's okay because it is the pink and I want to bring out that pink color in this design. And I'll show you in just a second, in case this is your first time watching, how I cut my mesh. I do not measure my mesh when I'm using these pre-made artificial pine wreath bases. I will just take my roll, I drop it to the ground, I will just hold it up like to my chin, and then just cut around my belly button. So let me cut two more pieces. That's probably all we're going to need. And again, I'm just rolling the ends in. This just helps for when the mesh starts to fray, because mesh will fray. Doesn't matter what kind of mesh you use. Obviously, some are better than others. If you're using like the value mesh, the cheaper mesh, it will fray much more than the more expensive, more the fabric jute mesh. So rolling them in and just squishing them together. And that one really could have been our last one, but I'm going to go ahead and add one more pink just so I don't have two greens right next to each other. Which really wouldn't matter, because by the time we get done with this wreath, everything's going to be covered up. Most of this mesh will be covered up. And again, some people like to really see the mesh. I use mesh more as a filler, more than anything. So if you like the mesh look of the wreath, just don't put as much embellishments or sprays in the design. Just put less and you'll see more of the mesh. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to squish it down. Just going to push it down. And that will kind of elongate and create more of an oval shape design. Push it a little bit more. Okay. Now, let's add our star of this design, which is this super cute gingerbread wreath attachment. This came from Off With Their Heads on Etsy. And so we are going to get her added. And the colors on here are the pink and the mint green. So that's going to kind of be our theme. White. And I'm going to pull in just a tad bit of black with our ribbon. So let's figure out the placement for her. I think I want her a little bit, so this would be center. I don't want her right in the center. I want her up, and I'm trying to see if I want it kind of at a diagonal, if I want her straight. And I'm calling it a her, but it could be a boy. Choices. Let's go ahead and just add it straight. But again, it's up higher and not down in the center. So it does come with little pipe cleaners attached to the back. I'm just going to wrap them around this wire frame. And then we'll add some glue in a minute. I'm going to add some glue to the back of the gingerbread too, but I want to get one of these started. Get one tied on really good, and then we'll add some glue. Okay. So I'm just going to take and add a bunch of glue to the back. And then push it down. And let's finish tying these pipe cleaners around the frame. And then when I'm done tying, I'll add a little bit of glue to that pipe cleaner too. I'm just tying it around that wire that I showed you guys. I love these attachments that you can buy off of Etsy from other makers. They really create nice statement pieces. They are a little pricey just because there's a lot of time and effort that goes into making these. So rightfully so, they're going to charge for their time and their work. So sometimes when you use these, you either have to know that this is going to be a more expensive design, or you need to use less embellishments to keep the price down. For me, I tend to make, I'm just going to add some hot glue to these pipe cleaners now. For me, I tend to make sort of more over-the-top designs. So this one will be a little bit more expensive, because I'm still going to add a lot of the embellishments and the picks and the sprays and things like that. But, I mean, how cute is this? Like, if you were to put this in the center, you were to put her in the center, I mean, you could stop here and this would be a super cute wreath. Just the gingy and then the mesh. So you could totally stop there. But we're going to keep going. So that's all tied in. I'm going to add a little bit more glue, like underneath, just to make sure we're not going to go anywhere. Okay. Now let's add our bow. So I I raised her higher because I want a bow to go like right down here. Typically, my designs, you're going to see that a lot. I do my bow down on this side or down on this side. Today, I think we're going to go this way, which is to my right. It's going to sit a little bit more to the right. So I'm going to set this aside. And we're going to be using 3 different ribbons. I'm going to be using a 4-inch fair silk. And this is where we're going to pull in a little bit of that black that's in her eyes. So this has got a black and white check and it's trimmed in the pink. We did have this in the shop. I don't know if we still do, but all of the ribbons I'm using today, we did at the last time I checked, we had them in stock. So I'm going to give this about a 12-inch tail. You can make it whatever size, just kind of measure it because it depends on, you know, where you put your gingerbread. And then I'm going to make about a 7-inch loop. And I use my Easy Bow Maker. It's just easier for me, but you can do it by hand if that works better for you. Okay, so let me cut this. Set that aside for right now. Now I'm going to go in with our candy pink. This is another fair silk ribbon. And I think I want to do, let's do like a tail up. We're going to go about to the 6th twist. We want to twist so that the pretty side of the ribbon stays up. And again, we're going to go to about the 6th. And then I'm going to come down. And we're going to go in and do another tail up, twist. Same size, 6, twist. Going same size and just push it down. So now we kind of made like a little cross and we have 2 tails up. Trim those in a minute. Go ahead and set this one aside. And this is a really pretty like velvet, pink velvet. It's really pretty. This is a new one we just got in stock. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with this 1.5 mint green. And we're going to go about 1/2 inch shorter. So it'd be about 5.5. I'm not really measuring it, but I'm just looking, eyeballing it. It's about half an inch shorter than the pink one, than the pink loop. Okay, cut that, set that aside. Okay, now I'm gonna get my zip tie and a pipe cleaner. You can use a pipe cleaner to tie your ribbon if you would prefer. I like to use the zip ties. For me, I can just get a tighter grip on my bow. I'm going to get that tight, but not all the way tight, so that I can make sure my loops and my tails are how I want them. And then I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and run it through the back. Okay, and then now I'm going to tie it really tight. I'm going to cut the back of the zip tie off. Put that back over here. And then I'm just going to tie this bow around that inner wire. And again, it's kind of to the right a little bit. It's not centered. Just going to tie it in the back, and then we'll add some glue. Okay, I'm going to add just a tiny bit of glue right there where I tied it. Okay, isn't this just adorable? It's so cute. And again, that could be a stopping point. You could totally stop right here. We're going to trim our tails up. So on the black and white, I'm just going to take and roll the ends up because it's double-sided. So I want that pink to show. So I'm just going to roll the ends up. And again, I'm just going to, they're wired, so it should stay. Just roll it up. Okay. And on the pink, I think I'm just going to roll the tails on these as well, but I'm just going to roll it under, just because I don't want to cut that pink velvet into a dovetail, just in case it were to start to fray. So I rolled those up. I will cut the mint. I think I'm going to cut at a diagonal, but I'm going to leave it a little bit long so that we can sort of curl it. This has a nice strong wire on it. I love this ribbon. We've got it in a couple different colors. There's our cute little bow. Okay, so now let's add a little pop of that. Oh, I forgot these, y'all. Okay, so I'm going to cut them a little shorter, and then we'll roll the ends under like we did. So I'm just going to roll the ends. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of, we can fluff that up when we're done because I'm sure I'm going to mess it up. Let's add a little bit of the 4-inch. I'm just going to add a tail up here. Let's add our pink. I'm not measuring. One tail that is a little bit longer than the other. It's just how I like to do it. Okay, and our mint. adding a tail. Let's tie that in there. Just twisting those twist ties, or those little pine ties. Okay, again, I'm going to take and roll the black and white so that the pink is showing, because it is double-sided. Do that on this side. Okay, on the pink velvet, I'm going to roll it under. And then I'll cut this at a slant. Give it a little curl. So we have our little tails up here, and we got our bow here. Let's stop with the ribbon for now. Let's add our other embellishments and sprays. If we need to add more later, we can, but let's just stop there with the ribbon for now. Okay, let me get the ribbon out of the way. Okay, so now we are going to add, I brought in some of these little mint green and pink lollipops. Thought these were super cute. So we're going to tuck some of these. Let's just kind of get our placement. And then we'll add the glue in a second. So I'm kind of going around, sort of around our gingy with those. And I've got a couple more. These were just ornaments. We do not have any more of these in stock, but you can look at Hobby Lobby, or you can use a different peppermint, or not peppermint, a different lollipop. If you have a different one in stock, I'm just taking that ornament out of here. Of course, this one's going to be difficult and doesn't want to come off. They usually just pull right out, those little hooks. They'll pull right out. Okay, let's do one sort of up underneath the bow. It's kind of coming down a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to take, since I already have that one in there, I'm going to take there's some pine, those little pine branches, and I'm just twisting that around. I'm going to twist that around this. I'm going to twist it around this. And then we'll add glue. That'll just kind of help hold it in there, as well as the glue. So add some glue. Okay, let's get these added. So let's see if I can find, yeah, there's a tie right here. So I'm going to tie this in. Just twisting those pink ties right around there. And we'll add some glue. And add some glue to the back of that. Same thing over here. I'm going to take two of these pine branches, twist that around that lollipop. Add some glue, add some glue to the back. Let's do this last one here. See if I can find a tie. Do that one this way so I can tie it right here. Add some glue. Let's add one right above her head. See, that just came right out. You can just pull those little hooks out usually. They don't give you any problems. Okay, so let's add one up here. Okay, and tying the... I'm going to, on this one, because of the placement, let me make sure it's not poking too far down through the wreath. Yeah, that's good. I'm going to add a little glue on my stem. Stick it down in there. And then we'll twist those ties around there. Some glue. And there's a pine branch that's sitting right on the back of that, so I'm just gluing it. Okay, so we have used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've used 5. I actually brought one more. Let me see if I want to add another one. Maybe right here. Why not? Again, you can stop. You could only add 2 if you wanted. You could add 3. You can stop anywhere you want. But I'm just going to load this one up. That's what we have so far. Adorable. Now I brought in, let's see, we've got, have a couple of donut ornaments. Let's add these in here, see where we want to add them. Actually, I think before I add my donut ornaments, I want to add a little bit of greenery. Some filigree. So I'm going to use a little bit of this. I'm going to cut up some of this frosted pine branch. I don't want the pine cones, so I'm going to clip those off. And I'm going to bring in a little bit of this as filler. And we have some sprays too we're going to add in a second. So I'm just going to cut these into little pieces. And then we're going to tuck them in. Again, you don't have to do this part because we have that pretty pink base we're using. I just want to add a little, just a little bit. I'm going to take some of these pieces, just going to dip it in my glue pot, and I'm just going to kind of like go, like, place some of these kind of around as a little filler. And some of the little holes. You really can skip this part. You could totally leave it just pink, but for this design, for me, I'm adding them, but you don't have to. So I think we'll probably use two of these. Yeah, let me cut up one more. We have a couple other things to add, so I don't want to get too crazy with the greenery. All right, let me take off this pine cone. Okay, so we'll stop with that. When I get done, I'll kind of show you. It's just really just a little touch of the green, and kind of fills in a little bit of our holes. I am so happy to be working on Christmas designs. I love this time of the year, even though it's only September, but we've got to start working on these so we can get them in the shop. Now I say I love doing this right now. Ask me in about 2 months and I'll probably going to be sick of Christmas designs and ready to do something else, but for now it's fun to start designing because that's my favorite time of the year. Okay, I've got one more little piece. Just tuck it up under the bow here a little bit. All right, so we've just kind of gone around and added a little bit of filler in there. Now let's add, I brought in some of these. Now, I obviously don't want the purple. I just want the pink and the mint green. So I'm going to cut the purple out of these. We can save them for something else, or you can just chunk them. I'm just going to cut the little purple pom-pom balls off. that I'm left with the pink and the mint green. So now we have just the pink and the mint green. So we're going to add some of these. I'll keep these little purple pom-poms. Sure, I'll do something with them. So let's go ahead and cut all of these so I can see our placement. I won't need it that long. And this one actually, let's cut it into two like I did on that one. So that'll make our little, that'll make them a little smaller, so they'll kind of tuck better into our little design. So they're smaller instead of being long. So we've just got some little pieces. So we will use all of these. I brought 3. So these were originally, I think, part of our Halloween collection, because I had some other things that went with those colors, but I just am repurposing it, taking off the purple, and we can use it for this design. Let's just cut up these 2. Oh, just totally cut that pink one up. Let's cut up these 2 and then see if we need the third one. We probably will, but just so I don't cut too much. Because we do have more things to add. So I brought a white, like a glitter spray we're going to add. I have those donuts, and I have some little cupcake ornaments that we might add. We'll see. I usually will bring more than I need. So I'm going to cut this one a little shorter. And I'm just going to start sort of tucking these in there. I'm going to dip them in my glue. We're just going to go around. And I'm making sure that I touch those pine branches with that glue. Let's put one right in there. You can always take the little pine and kind of wrap it around the stem like that too. I'm just going to take and wrap it around. And then we'll add glue to it. These are cute. just happened to see them. Sometimes I forget what we have in the shop. We have so many different items, but I was walking, when I was pulling stuff for this project, I just happened to walk by this spray and I was like, that would be perfect if I just cut off those little purple balls. Okay, got a few more. We might be able to just get away with just using the two. Maybe. Let's see. We may put like a cupcake or something there, so I'm gonna wait. Do one at the bottom underneath the bow. I'm going to take and wrap one of those ties around there. There we go. Let's see if I want to put one right in the center of the bow. I have these donuts and cupcakes too, so we may add one of those there. That's kind of cute. Let's go ahead and do it. Oh, and our little pink one that I cut off, maybe we can just glue it right in the center. We'll glue it like a little button. We'll glue it right there in the center, and that'll help cover our little zip tie up. There we go. So now we have them sort of all the way around, super cute. Okay, now let's add our cupcakes and our donuts before we add our final thing, which will be our sprays. So we have these little pink Christmas cupcakes in the shop. And you can use them as, you know, picks, but I'm gonna cut it off and just use the cupcake part. Let me see where I want it. I have to remember when it's hung up, I don't want my cupcake sticking straight out at me, so that's why I'm kind of looking to see on the placement. Let's do one right there. Because if I would have stuck it right there, it'd been, when I hung it up, it would have been pointing right at me. So we don't want that. Okay, so we have one there. Let's tuck one in. Maybe right there behind our bow. And I dropped the other one, so let me get it. Okay. So let's use 3. I brought 3. One there, one there. right there. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to glue the back of that ball there to that. That'll just help secure it a little bit more. Add some glue down here to our mesh. Okay. Now let's add our little donuts. So these are just little donut ornaments. You can get them at Hobby Lobby. Walmart might even sell them. I don't know. A lot of people are doing the Candyland now. So I'm just going to tuck one right there. We used to sell these in the shop, but they've been sold out. These are just a couple that I had in my stash left. I'm going to use them up. But I've seen the donuts at like Hobby Lobby and places like that. So a lot of places are starting to sell them now. Let's put one right up there. I love the Candyland Christmas. I usually will do like in my dining room area. I will do like the Candyland, like my gingerbreads and stuff in my kitchen. And then in my living room, I'll do more of the traditional colors. I just love all the different ones. I wish I could do it like a different theme for every room, but my husband would not let me. He already says I have too much Christmas stuff. Wouldn't that be cool? Like a theme in every room. Just think if I had a tree in every room. That would be cute. We have this hole right here, and I'm trying to figure out, I keep wanting to place something there, and I can't figure out. I need to try to hold it up because it's going to be hanging. Would it look funny to have it sitting right on top? Like we have this hole that I need to fill with something. But I don't know that I love that either. I have these cotton candies. Yeah, let's put that there. So these are little cotton candy picks. These I got at Hobby Lobby. And I pulled them off another project that I didn't end up using them on. That will help fill our little hole right there. I'm gonna add some more glue because that stem was kind of short. Ah, that's better. I like it. And I have one more I brought, so let's get it added. See where we want it. Decisions. Don't want it on the same side. maybe right under there. Or on this side. Yeah, let's do it on that side. Okay. I'm going to add glue all in there now that I kind of got it shoved in there. Lots of glue. And I dropped something. Where did I drop? Oh, I dropped a donut. Alright, you guys, hang on. Let me grab my donut that I dropped. Okay. Woo! This dress, I wore black, and I got all that flocking all over me. The only thing with these Christmas designs, when you use those flock sprays, it gets everywhere. Everywhere. So maybe we just tuck this donut right back there. That way we kind of got a triangle with our donuts. So I like to kind of make a little triangle pattern. So we got our little triangle with our donuts. Let me add a little bit of glue right there to glue it to that gingerbread. And hold it for just a second. And the last thing we have to add is our glitter sprays. But again, you could completely stop here. We've got a lot in this wreath and it looks super cute. If you don't like a lot of stuff in your wreath, I know a lot of people don't like all the embellishments. They want it more simple. And I get that. So you could stop here. But I want to see what it looks like if we add some of these little white glitter sprays. So let's cut one up and see if we like it. So we should get quite a few pieces out of one spray. And that's another thing you have to think about, like when you're buying these sprays, sometimes they can be a little pricey, but look at how many pieces you can get out of it. Because if you can buy one spray and get lots of different pieces out of it, then it's definitely worth the price of the spray. So this one would get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We get 10, and I left a couple longer, and then I did a couple shorter. So if you did them all shorter, you could probably even get more than that, but I kept a couple longer so we can go below our bow. Down at the bottom. So we're going to just start going all the way around. And adding these to the outside of the wreath. And I do like it. Now when I kind of get to the sides, I'm going to use some of the smaller pieces to kind of tuck in. Watch my fingers. Let's find another little piece, kind of tuck in there. I'm going to cut a little piece off of this one so I can go up underneath there. I want this one a little shorter. I'm going to cut a piece off of here. I don't want it sticking so far out that it looks funny, right? We want to keep them all kind of in the same space so that one's not sticking out further than the other. And this one I can really tuck down into the wreath. And it's at the top, so I want it a little bit longer. Yo! I dripped that right on my fingers. That was hot. And that one I didn't get a good tuck. There we go. Let me add a little glue because I got most of the glue on my fingers. And that was hot. Hot, hot. Okay. So I'm going to cut this one down. Okay, let's cut up another one. We probably won't use all of this one because we're almost all the way around, but we'll use probably half of it. So we're going to use about 1.5, and you can save the other for another project. And I'll just drop that one. Let's leave one a little longer for the bottom. Okay. Get a little bit more glue on that one. And when I hang this up, you'll hear me say this on all my videos probably. When I hang this up, I will look to see if there's any spots that we have a little hole or something just looks a little off, because when you're designing flat on the table, sometimes you can miss things like that. So I'll keep a couple of these pieces. We'll have that other half, and I can use them to fill in spots that I see when I hang it up, because you'll always see usually some spots once you hang it up, or like when you go to take your pictures and then you look at the picture, you'll see something that just doesn't quite look right. So we can use it then to fill in any of our little holes that we see. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to stop with that. I have the other half of this that I can use to fill in when I hang it up if I see any spots that we missed. But here is our adorable little gingerbread wreath, and I'll take pictures and hang it up so you can see it hanging up But I hope you guys enjoyed this design. Until next time, bye guys. Bye.